Hello guys, I welcome you all to the live demo of my blockchain project made by me and my team Loop Breakers for the UR Hackathon 2022 submission. On Ethereum blockchain, it's called fundraiser.sol. So basically it's a crowd fundraising this smart contract. So what it does is we get to see in newspapers and everywhere that certain people, a individual or group of people need to raise funds for certain reasons. For example, in case of accident, or if someone is hospitalized, he needs money by lots of other people. In that conditions, when an individual or a group of people or maybe a company needs to raise funds for a certain request, in that case, I have built this solidity blockchain program, because we all know blockchain is quite secure in terms of transactions. So it will help both the recipient as well as the contributor in terms of safety of their data or validity of the transaction. Let's cruise to the code. These are the functions. Send it, which has a timestamp, a deadline that needs to be under which the transactions need to be made, as well as the request needs to be completed. So let's there is a refund function too. Let's first deploy it to understand the functions clearly. So the code is safe, no error. Let's select this one as manager. Manager has certain rights which we will see in the program. Let's deploy it now. Okay, so there was an error because we need to define a target as well as deadline. Let's set target amount as 1000 and deadline is 600. That's 1 hour basically. Now let's deploy it. Yeah, that was successful. This is the smart contract, and we can see many what you call tags maybe. So this is for creating a request, and let's create our first request as accidental support for accident. That's to be paid to the last account. Let's select that one, and this one. The amount that needs to be raised, let's keep it 800. Yeah. So there are certain rights to manager, as I mentioned, that only the manager, that is the one who deployed the smart contract, only he can create request. So let's see what happens if someone else does that. Oh, let's just first let's see what happens. So yeah, we got an error. Only manager can call the create request function. Let me just pull up this thing. You can see that clearly. Let's switch back to the manager. I lost the gas fees, but those are fake Ethereum, so no issues. Now let's create request. That was successful. Let's now create another request. So basically I plan on creating around 3 requests, 3 reasons for raising fund. Next is election funds, fund for election. Switch to next account for as recipient. Elections, as we know, require massive amounts, so let's keep that 4000. Need the third one now. New account. This is for education, so basically educational loan, you can say that. Or let's keep it for organizing a hackathon. Yeah, money, we need money for organizing hackathon, everyone knows that. $2,500, because elections are quite costly, not the hackathons. Let's see the data. So first one is for accident, the recipient, value, completed or not, and number of votes. The second request is for fund for elections, and the third request is for organizing a hackathon. deadline is as mentioned. Manager address, minimum contribution that needs to be made is 100 V. Currently there are no contributors, and if in case minimum contribution is not met and the deadline is met, then the person cannot send ETH. So minimum contribution should be met and the timestamp should be less than deadline. Also, if the deadline is met and the raised amount is less than the target required money, in that case the contributor can also claim for a refund and he will get a refund successfully. So that's when the deadline is met and the amount is less than the target. Number of contributors are 0 right now and raised amount is also 0. Let's get contributors now. The first contributor pays 1500 V. Pretty rich, successful. Second contributor is quite okayish with 200 V, 2000. Let's keep it up. Sorry for my voice. Let's test third contributor. No, let's keep him real good to 300. Let's not as a fourth contributor actually with 50 V. So we can see that minimum contribution is not met because we set the minimum contribution as 100 V. That's the minimum amount that he needs to pay. Let's hope that he gets rich. So now he is willingly ready to pay around 4,000 V. He can individually, complete the fund for election. Let's see the raised amount in total, 7,798, enough for funding all the 3 requests, I guess. The target is 1,000 as we said earlier. So we have basically 3 contributors. 3 or 4 contributors here. Now let's start with the voting. The first contributor votes for not the manager. First, let's test with a person who is not a contributor. So he tries to make payment. So yeah, this is a different function here that can only be accessed by manager. So he votes a cause, the first cause he votes, and he is unable to vote because he is not a contributor, as we can see. But we lost the gas fees again. Let's now switch back to a wallet that's a contributor, valid contributor. He can vote definitely. So now he votes for the first cause. That's the cause for accident, I guess. Sympathy votes. I mean, not sympathy votes. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, support for accident. Let's keep the chances real simple. Everyone votes for accident. The individual cannot vote again, as you can see. That wallet has already voted, so he cannot vote again, or else it will be a clear fraud. One can individually raise number of votes, because number of votes play real good this probability in determining who needs which request should be fulfilled. This wallet would contribute for organizing hackathon. Thanks, bud. So we've got 0 votes for election, 3 for accident, and 1 for hackathon. Clearly more than 50% chance, more than 50% votes for support for accident. That's good people in this world. So now let's see what happens when the manager tries to make payment for a request that doesn't have votes or doesn't have more than 50% votes. So as the majority is not met, the request won't be fulfilled. I mean, the request won't be paid. The majority must vote to a certain cause, and only that cause would be fulfilled. So even the hackathon won't be paid, unfortunately, but the one who needs money for support in case of accident would be successfully paid the fund, and that particular request will be completed now. So that works perfect. Thank you for watching the video. And this is the live demonstration using Replit ID. Thank you for watching. So now let's try to deploy our contract on Polygon. You can see my current balance. It's on Polygon Matic Mumbai test network. Now let's deploy it. The MetaMask notification with the contract, the estimated gas fees for deploying our contract, and confirm. Now that confirms our transaction, and here is our deployed contract. As we can see, all the functions we wrote in Solidity are here: create request, deadline, get contract balance, payment, manager, the one who deploys contract, raised fund, refund request, target, as well as vote request. Now let's create a request for accident support. The recipient and amount is 2500. Let's run it, and after paying the estimated fees, confirming it, we get the transaction hash. So that way we deploy it on Polygon mainnet testnet.